can a woman ever recover from being an OF
never
model?
No.
What?
Absolutely not.
But she changed her life, Sarah.
I don't care.
She found God, Sarah.
Well, okay, let me reiterate. Can she recover? Yes. Will she have the best options of high value, high earning masculine men? No.
I'll say this. If she did OnlyFans but never really got that big or exposed herself to a lot of people, I think women can recover from being on a platform like that, at least socially. I mean, if she didn't blow up in any way, any guy she dates in the future would only know that she did something like that if she told them. I know this because I know a few girls who gave it a try, but because they didn't make much money on it, they gave it up, and I don't think any of them got more than like 50 followers. Now, with all that being said, if we're talking about women who've blown up on the platform and their videos can easily be found online, then no, I don't think it's something women can easily move past. Of course, there will always be guys out there who'd be willing to get into a relationship with them, but it'd be a lot harder to find the type of man they truly want. People like to say things like, you shouldn't judge people solely on their past, but we do this all the time. So I don't see why it'd be any different when it comes to dating.
But
it doesn't matter.
She's abstinent.
She sold her body on the internet.
She's abstinent
People
now.
People have seen her busted, spread wide open. There's no way.
She dressed modestly now.
I don't know about you guys, but me, personally, I'd rather not deal with someone who's been exposed like that. That kind of digital footprint never goes away. And even if it was somehow magically scrubbed from the internet, people would have downloaded that shit already. So it's always gonna be online somewhere. God only knows what type of shit can be found on the dark web.
What is modest when you've seen it all?
She is a member of the PTA, Sarah.
I love that for her. Ladies, we have to do a better job of measuring the consequences of our actions in the now. Now, although femininity deeply lives in the now, we also have to be mindful of what's going to happen in our future. If you decide to be ran through, if you decide to have an OF, if you decide to do adult entertainment industry, you are disqualifying yourself from a certain type of man.
I 100% agree with her. And to be honest, men could use this advice too, because the things you do or don't do today will have an effect on the quality of life you have tomorrow. If you're always living in the moment and don't give any thought to your future, you're setting yourself up for failure. So this advice can be applied to a multitude of areas in your life.
You are disqualifying yourself from certain types of opportunities and experiences. Now, that being said, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want and you want to be a bad bee and you want to be out here living your best life, doing all bad all by yourself, do you, boo? But I promise you, in the future, you will look back and you will regret the decisions that you made. It is not worth it.
Yeah, people can live whatever life they want, but you should always consider how your life can be affected by the things you choose to do in the moment. Recently, we've had a lot of porn stars come out and talk about how much they regret getting their cheeks clapped on camera. So even though they made good money and were probably having the best time when things were going well, now that they're older and out of the game, they look at the decisions they made in the past in a new light.
So,
yeah,
hold on.
Come on.
Gotta play devil's advocate here.
I love devil's advocate.
So what about the men? Why is it that...
It's a double standard.
Oh, why is it like a man's confidence is defined by how many women he break down in his bed?
I don't even know why people are still asking this question, because the answer seems pretty obvious to me. The fact of the matter is, sex isn't something that's easily accessible to most men. And throughout history, most men haven't been able to reproduce. If I'm remembering correctly, there was even a point for every 17 women who had children, only one man was able to reproduce, which is wild. So, when a guy is able to get some action, it's commendable because it's something that takes skill, and the man has to be desirable, at least to some degree, to even get some cheeks. Women don't have this issue when it comes to sex though, because it's not something they ever have to work for. I know a lot of people have issues with this reasoning, but I don't know what to tell you.
Why does the sun come up in the east and go down in the west?
Because God made it that way.
Why do the stars sparkle?
But that's God's law.
Why is the sky blue even though it's not blue? Why? I don't ask those questions. It is a double standard. We can't sit here and pretend like we are the same as men. We're not. We're not. We can't wash men off. Period. No, I need you to hear me. We cannot wash men off. There will always be a remnant of the men that we've been with inside of our bodies for life. So if you are just filled with all of these different people, you know how many different soul ties, demon spirits you got in your body?
But so do men though.
No, men can wash us off.
I've heard people say this sort of stuff before, about how a part of a man will always be a part of a woman after sex. So when she mentioned it in this clip, I had to look this shit up. And it turns out that it is something that can happen. But more often than not, male DNA enters a woman's body through pregnancy, and it can hang around for decades. The thing is, though, this isn't the DNA from the man she slept with. It'd be from the son she gave birth to, if she in fact had a boy. Now, there's a chance that this can happen through sex alone, but from what I could find, there's nothing conclusive about that. So as of right now, all this talk about a man being a part of a woman indefinitely after sex is pure fiction. And I don't do all that spirit talk, so I don't entertain ideas like that.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying because we are incubators and they are the whatever.
Penetrators. That's what they are. Yeah. It's a sport, especially for certain types of men. And for us to sit here and act like we could be just like men, that's wild to me.
Well, we all know that men and women are very different. So our experience of the world just isn't going to be the same, which is something we should learn to accept. The more and faster our technology improves, how men and women think may be more similar in the future, but we're talking 10 or 20,000 years from now. Evolution's a slow process, and for that to happen, the comforts we enjoy today would have to persist for a very long time. And even then, we don't know how the human body or mind will adapt to the world. Before I head off though, you guys know I had to run through some of the comments, so let's get into it.
Ray Lil Black converted to Islam. She has embraced all judgment and smearing and still maintains an online presence as a Muslim and does not shy away from her past. Her slate is clean. So yes, you can.
You still remember her from her past? No?
And this is who they're talking about, if you guys don't already know. Now, I'm not Muslim or anything, but from what I understand, when someone converts to the faith, their past sins are wiped clean, kinda like in Christianity, I guess. But when it comes to an actual family being accepting of someone like this, that's another matter entirely. But you guys will have to let me know how that shit goes in the comments.
I agree with her, but I also think it's unattractive when a guy is a player and has hooked up with a bunch of girls, even if it's part of his past.
Then why do women get pregnant by the same man then? Why is there one man with multiple baby mamas? Y'all be knowing they got former partners and still raw them.
It's like a criminal who changes his ways. Yes, you are a changed man, but your criminal record still exists, and it will affect your life, such as in job applications.
Best example ever. People forget that there are consequences to their actions.
Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one.